Welcome back, dear students, in the third part of the lesson, crop production and management. So in this lesson or in this video we are going to discuss about irrigation, protection of crop from the weeds, harvesting and storage. So before I discuss all this, let us go for a quick revision of our previous explanation. So we started the various steps of agriculture, from soil preparation, then sowing of seed, and then manuring or applying fertilizer, right? So now next is the irrigation process. But before I start, let me also explain to you about some of the processes or activities that are done in order to replenish the soil, right? That is practices like crop rotation or zoom cultivation or fallow helps in replenishment of soil. So these practices, for example, the crop rotation is a practice or the process where the crops are grown rotationally in the same piece of land, season by season. In this process, crops, for example, the crops like paddy, it consumes a lot of nitrogen, right? So for one season it will consume lot of nitrogen. For the next season, now the soil will be deficient of nitrogen content. So in order to replenish this nitrogen content in the next season in the same land, crops like the lentil can be grown because they are the leguminous crop, and leguminous crops help in the fixation of nitrogen due to the rhizobium bacteria present in their root nodules, right? So in this way the nutrient content of the soil can be regained by its natural means by growing the crops rotationally. Means two different crops growing in the same piece of land rotationally. So such process is called crop rotation. Other than that, there are processes called zoom cultivation or fallow, where the field or the land is left uncultivated for some few years, say 2 years or 3 years, so that the land will gain its nutrient by its natural means of decomposition, or with due course of time it will regain its nutrient content, right? So such practice is done especially in hilly areas like Arunachal, Mizoram or Nagaland, because they do not have a plain area, or the soil or the land is not plain, right? So they used to shift their cultivation from one hill or from one location to the other location. So in this way the nutrient content can be regained or can be replenished by the natural way. So such practice is called fallow. So these are the two methods by which the soil can be replenished with the nutrients by its natural means. Okay, so let us now discuss about irrigation. Irrigation is a method of supply of water to the crop field. So it is one of the very important step of agriculture, as no plants can grow without water, and the crops, of course, they also require water for their growth and development, because with the absorption of the water they will also absorb the mineral along with the water. But different crops, their need of the water, the quantity of water they require also vary according to the type of crops. So there are different methods of irrigation. There are some conventional methods where the water is drawn out from the nearby sources like river through chain pump, moat, Detli, Rahat, etc. So these are conventional methods where the water is drawn out maybe from the well or from the water by making canals, etc. So in all this conventional process, physical force is applied in order to draw out the water, right? So these are the conventional method. And in a modern method of irrigation, there are two methods called sprinkler system and the sprinkler and the drip irrigation system. So irrigation system can be understood as conventional system, conventional and modern method. Okay. So our conventional method comprises of those moat, Detli, Rahat, etc. Whereas modern system we have the drip system and the sprinkler system. So this drip system and sprinkler system, the water is conserved. Okay, so it helps in the it helps to supply water by conserving it, or by not spoiling, or by not wasting it. In drip irrigation system, the water is allowed to fall only in nearby the root and only of the exact amount, not much, right? So in this way we can conserve the water, or we can avoid wastage of water. Whereas in sprinkler system also, in between of the field, like there will be a sprinkler, right? And this sprinkler will have the nozzle, and through the nozzle it will rotate and it will supply water to certain area or to some distant radius. The water can be sprinkled through the rotating nozzle. So in this way, both drip irrigation system and sprinkler method help in the conservation of water. So this method are very effective in the places or the area where there is the scarcity of water, where there is lack of water or lack of rainfall. So in those area we can use drip irrigation system as well as sprinkler system, as it will help in conserving water. But conventional methods are also there, like the mood, rahat, chain pump. But all this conventional method requires a physical force to draw out the water. But drip system and the sprinkler system requires power or the energy, that is through the motor pump. It can be helped or it can be done, right? Then next is protection from weeds, right? After irrigation, now next thing we have to know is about protection. So there are plants, or there are unwanted plants that grow along the crop. So these unwanted plants need to be removed, because there will be competition for food and space for the desired crop, or for there will be competition between the crop and the unwanted plant for food and space. So these weeds need to be removed time to time. So this removal of these unwanted plants from the crop field is known as weeding. This weeding can be done in 3 different ways. This can be done either number 1 by manual method, manually, number 2 by physical method or by mechanical method, manual method, mechanical method, and number 3 with the help of chemicals, right? So there are 3 different ways by which weeding can be done: by manually, mechanically, or by chemicals. Manually we can do with hands, by hand picking, or mechanically we can do with the help of some tools like kurpi, etc. We can remove the weeds growing along with the crop. And number 3 is the chemical method. Chemical method are called as the weedicides. So these weedicides help in killing the unwanted plants only. It does not cause any harm to the crop. But of course, while spraying weedicide, we should take some precautionary measures like covering the face or nose and mouth, and also spraying it from a distance area. Otherwise, it may affect to the person handling it. Right? So these are the 3 methods by which weeds can be removed from the crop. And weeding should be done before flowering or the formation of seed. If the weeds already have formed the flower and the seed, it will be difficult to get rid of. Even if we remove it, it may reform or it may regerminate, right? So the best time to do weeding is before the flowering and before the formation of seed, that is during their vegetative time itself. So that is for weeding or for protection from weeds, right? This is the step. Then next is the harvesting. So harvesting is finally the time when we get our produce. We now the produce or the products that we are going to obtain from our crops are finally going to we are going to get it. So this harvesting can be done with some machines or tools. Some tools like sickle. In India, especially the sickle is used to cut the crop, and then the grains are obtained from it. Or machines like with harvester or combine, harvesting can be done. So this harvesting can be done with combine or with machine fitted in a tractor or with the help of a sickle. Then after harvesting, our next step is storage. So storage is again very important, since you have put lot of effort, lot of time and lot of investment in the agriculture or for cultivation of the particular crop. Now you get your product also, now you get your produce. Now it is very important that how do you store it, because if you do not store it properly, it will get spoiled and all your hard work, your investment will go in vain. So it's very important that you store it properly. So for storage, the important thing that should be kept in mind is the moisture, right? Our grains should not contain any moisture, because this moisture will attract insects or it will attract the microbes to grow, and gradually it will spoil the entire grain. So before we store it, we have to sun dry. We have to dry it under the sun properly so that all the moisture is dried up, and then we will put it in gunny bags, and then it can be stored in silos or granaries, so that there is no any rodents can enter, or also there will be no any microbial or fungal infection, and our our grains can be prevented from any further infection and also from any spoilage, right? So in this way we can store our grains in silos and granaries. So with this the different steps are explained about different methods of agriculture. So that's it. I hope it will help you in understanding the lesson. And after my explanation, I hope that you do the exercise question and answer. You write it well, and if you have any question or doubt, you are free to ask me, and also you can leave behind your comment in the comment section. You can definitely subscribe to my channel, of course, because if, I will be going I will be uploading some more video lessons, so that you can get more videos. Then with this, I hope you have learned it. Thank you so much.